Jennifer Lopez's new documentary, The Greatest Love Story Never Told, is currently streaming on Amazon Prime. But is it worth a watch? I gotta say it is. I like this a whole lot better than the visual album This Is Me Now, because this is easier to understand. And she really clearly and concisely lays out her vision for This Is Me Now in this documentary. It makes more sense seeing this and then going back to watch This Is Me Now. I wish the rollout were better, that she released the Greatest Love Story Never Told documentary and then did a surprise release with the visual album and then dropped the music maybe later that night or a couple of days after that, because the way the rollout went, it doesn't make sense. Getting this second, the This Is Me Now is an hour, and when I tell you it is a struggle to get through that hour, but this one I watched, it was so easy to sit through, and it's about an hour and a half. It's 30 minutes longer than the visual album. This makes better sense, and it shows this vulnerability of Jennifer Lopez. I've always seen her as very unapproachable, with this buffer and this shell to make sure that she is presented as this image of perfection. And I think with this documentary, all of those layers were peeled away. And even since American Idol, I feel like Jennifer Lopez has been on this trajectory of proving to the world her worth in this industry. And I don't believe that we know she deserves these accolades. I don't think she knows, because it seems like she is trying to prove to the world her value in the industry. Now, I might not be her. I don't necessarily like the music. I like the big hits, but I don't necessarily like all of the music. But I know without a shadow of a doubt that she is a fantastic actress. And I've seen everything she's in. El Cantante is one of my favorite movies that she is in. She is so fantastic in that film. And for the most part, she's been like the rom-com queen since Meg Ryan stood down a little bit. We love a good J-Lo movie, but for some reason, maybe she doesn't realize we understand her impact in the industry, because she is really trying to show and prove. And she unpacks that too with your childhood and how she really did strive to be the best and stand out and prove that she had it in her. She's from the Bronx. So that exterior, I think she's peeling that back a lot, especially in this documentary, and even the documentary from Netflix where she talks about it's like a behind the scenes backstage pass to the making of the Super Bowl halftime. And she discusses how she was a little hurt behind not being nominated for an Oscar for Hustlers. That kind of vulnerability, we don't have that kind of access with stars on her level a lot. It's comforting to know that she is more approachable now. I like that about this documentary, and it was really sweet how she and Ben Affleck interacted and how he saved all of their love letters and notes from when they dated the first time and gave it to her for Christmas, and she used that for the inspiration for her album and for the visual album and this documentary. She used that as inspiration, and they talk about how they were meant to be together and they're soulmates, and no matter the distance and that time that they had apart from each other, that they found their way back after marriage and kids and even excelling in their careers. They still their hearts found their way back to each other, and it was just really sweet. I know a lot of people think that it's a flex or that it's egg on her face that some of her industry friends did not support this process in this movie to be in it, to be in the visual album. And I think she understands that they would have liked to be in it, but they just didn't understand. Most of us, I didn't understand it until I saw this documentary. Now I think I can go back and put these two together and really get where she was going. I don't think it's a flex that people weren't a part. Now, the studio, whoever that was pulling out after they had already agreed, that's disappointing. But they probably didn't understand it either and realized that visual albums just don't sell. Like it probably wouldn't have gotten the money back, their investment. They probably wouldn't have profited at all because those types of projects don't generally. That could have been why. But the timing is not lost on me that at the same time Ben Affleck he had directed Air, starred in Air, and was sending it around to festivals and getting Amazon to buy it. Then Amazon ended up picking up this one too after J-Lo was going to invest $20 million of her money into the project. You know, it's not lost on me. It might have been a package deal that they buy Air, put Air in the movies and on Amazon Prime, and, you know, buy Jennifer Lopez's projects, This Is Me Now and The Greatest Love Story Never Told. Perhaps. It just seemed to be perfect timing that they picked it up when the other studios said no. That's neither here nor there. I like this documentary. I like this vulnerable side of J-Lo. I want to see her in more movies. I would be okay with her retiring from music and just thrusting headfirst into movies, maybe directing, or maybe Ben Affleck and her doing a movie together. Now, I know Geely was like not the best, but that was a different season in their lives, and I think if they were to do a movie together now, it would turn out a whole lot better. Him being an award-winning director and her, you know, even on the edge of getting an Oscar nomination for Hustlers. They're different in their careers. They've grown. They're more seasoned. I think doing a movie together would be perfect. Kismet for them. Or maybe he directing a movie that she's in or vice versa. That would be really, really cute. And I think the time would be perfect to do something like that together. But I want to see her in something like a Devil Wears Prada. I want to see her get that role where, I mean, let's put the rom-coms down for a bit. And not Mother, but something where she can really stick her teeth into, like El Cantante or Out of Sight. Something like that where we can really see her get up on that stage, or at least get nominated for an Oscar. At any rate, I think this is a good documentary, easy to watch. It's currently streaming on Amazon Prime. They both are. Both of her projects are on Amazon Prime. The documentary for sure is worth a watch. And if you haven't seen This Is Me Now, you might want to try to watch this documentary first and then throw on This Is Me Now. That's 2.5 hours. But I think it might be a better experience if you watched it in that order. At any rate, The Greatest Love Story Never Told is currently streaming on Amazon Prime.